Bridgerton, I think the Featheringtons obviously are more front and centre, but I think you kind of peel back the layers and see why they are the way they are. Has it always been like this? What's driving them?
Jack Featherington at the end of season 2 disappeared. I've got the money, but now some lawyers sniffing around, doubting the verity of this letter, saying that we've got all the money and all that. And one of the girls has to produce an heir. That's how it starts off with me, about trying to encourage and educate the girls on the facts of life. And Penelope, gets engaged to Colin. It's lots of twists and turns.
This year we now have husbands. So that is the new ingredient to the Featherington family this year. So I'm technically Prudence Dankworth now, which I don't actually want to say out loud because it doesn't feel good. So I'm technically no longer a Featherington, which is weird.
This season, there is a matter of urgency in that one of us needs to produce the heir. So Prudence and Philipa see it as their mission. So they're just basically trying to get pregnant. And all the while, Penelope is actually the main character. But to us in my land, Philipa is the main character. So she's not worried about Penelope. And then all of a sudden she's blindsided by how fit and rich she is.
The stuff this year with Prudence and Philipa is so funny because Prudence and Philipa are existing sort of in their own world of, trying to produce the Featherington heir, and that's their whole thing. And Harry and Bessie just play it. They're so funny with it. And then having these really sweet, they've got these lovely husbands. And I'm like, how did you two, these two characters, you're so terrible, manage to have these two lovely men?
You go first.
Okay, how do I come to be? Yeah, I came to be by falling passionately for the middle sister.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's terrible. I had to be like, I think for Finch it was probably love at first sight, and I think she was just like, yeah, he'll do. He's quite funny.
And I am a new husband on the scene, following in Finch's footsteps.
Ticking under my wing.
Prudence and Dankworth met in the countryside in the off-season and have been matched together by their families.
I marry below, he marries up, which also gives me quite a nice feeling of power. And he's just a new toy that I can play with. So that was quite exciting to go, how am I going to play that? And what is he going to do? And it was a surprise how he did things because he's a totally new character. And it was we hadn't yet worked our chemistry, which was so useful because we wouldn't have. We've established our family and our dynamic. And for the first 2 years, we were sat comfortably in our dynamic. So to have someone come in and offer up this new energy, that's what I was most excited for.
You were funny there. You don't know what he's doing.
Actually, the men who enter our family and our lives hinder us. And our mother gets rid of them. And they actually hold us back. Dad was pathetic and gambled and drank and died, which is the ultimate, disappointment. And then Lord Featherington comes in and is not a man who sticks to his word, and he's very flaky. So there's absolute strength that we absorb, or we're trying to absorb from our mother. And I think Prudence especially is trying to emulate her mother. She's a strong, surviving mum who is looking after her girls, and in this time, which is led by men, it's incredibly difficult. So I have a lot of respect for this household, who are all female. I think there's a lot of respect to be had.
People can look at Portia Featherington and think, oh, she's just this mum who wants to push her daughters. But you realise the responsibility she had in that time and had to it was her job to get them married so they'd be taken care of.
I think she's a really good mother. Maybe not in the traditional sense. But yeah, I think they're quite misunderstood as a family as well. And I think the dad's got a lot to answer for, which he cannot because he's popped his clogs.
In Regency England, it wasn't easy for a woman, so she's really had to battle, really. So I feel like she's often misjudged and stuff, but her intentions are purely to hold on to what she's worked for and to give her daughters a good life. I mean, she says in this season, my only wish has been for my daughters to have what I never had. Her parenting style might not be to everyone's taste, and there's a slight paranoia about her. She feels misjudged by everyone. She feels like an outsider, and she is. But I think she's a smart woman and is just living in difficult times.
So I think Whistledown isn't born from nowhere. I think there's a lot of Portia Featherington in Whistledown, and there's a lot of Portia in Penelope's ambitiousness and her drive and her focus towards doing what she wants to do. The men that come in contact with the Featheringtons try and be alpha, and then it doesn't work. Yeah, they just sort of slot in, but the women are ruling that family.
They really are like the bosses, the leaders. They tell us what to do. I'm 100% sure that whenever I'm dressing different things, it's Philipa that's decided what colours I'm wearing that day. That's a really strong masculinity as well, of not feeling like you've got to be this suave, powerful one that's making all these decisions, and actually just being someone who's like, yeah, found the love of my life, this is class, yeah. whatever you want, let's just, that, cool, let's do it, you know? That's a positive masculinity that I like portraying, which I think some people would see as like a weakness, and I just see it as like Finch being like, locked out, great.
Actually, the benefit of coming back to a series is you start to feel really relaxed, and you're in the Featherington living room, you know it like the back of your hand, you sit on your place in the sofa, you know what you'd be doing. The directors constantly trust us with our choices, and yes, sometimes they come in and offer, why don't we try it like this, or have you thought about if she sees it like that? But also they just let us do what we know best.
So I watch season 1 sometimes and think, what was that choice? And it's just so clear. I didn't know what I was doing with her. And now I feel like I've really found her. And it probably shouldn't have taken that long. And I've never done anything like this before. It takes a while for the scale to fall back a little bit. So you can be like, who, is this?
Victor, 26, leave, I take one.
Right. Nice camera set.
Thank you. And background action. Action.
I'm incredibly fond of every single one of them. I really am, and they're such colourful characters. The girls play them so brilliantly. They're each so unique, and it's fun to be part of that family, I have to say.
Miss Featherington, Lady Featherington.